See going. You want to go ahead? Call the roll. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Gardler. Here. Senator Carr. Senator McDaniel. Here. Senator Mills. Here. Senator Southworth. Senator Storm. Senator Thomas. Here. Senator Wilson. Here. Senator Yates. Senator Wheeler. Here. Chairman Schroeder.
I am here, and we do have quorum. And the first bill we are going to hear is Representative Phil Pratt's bill, House Bill 506. Senator Thomas is here. Welcome. Good to see you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I'm State Representative Phil Pratt from 62nd District. Before today, along with these folks, present you our consideration of House Bill 506. We passed this bill out of through the House a couple weeks ago. The Top Shelf team went to work. I want to commend Top Shelf and went to work on this bill. We actually passed it a couple years ago, but got hung up, and they worked very hard at this point in time. I'm going to let my presenters tell you about the bill.
Okay, if you would, please introduce yourself.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Is it green?
There
green.
we go. Can you hear me?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Charlie Vance. I'm the CEO of Concurrent HR, a professional employer organization, or PEO, based in Northern Kentucky. I'm a licensed attorney in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, a SHRM certified HR professional, a member of the executive committee for the National Association of PEOs, and I've been in a leadership position with a PEO in the state of Kentucky for nearly 12 years. Are we going to introduce ourselves or just go on? Okay. I'm here to testify in support of House Bill 506, which would create a comprehensive registration program and regulatory framework for PEOs. Passage of House Bill 506 will bring Kentucky in line with the 40 other states that have passed some form of comprehensive legislation addressing the specific licensing, registration, and regulation of PEOs, a vast majority of which track closely to the NAPIO Model Act on which this bill is based. By way of background, PEOs provide comprehensive HR solutions to small and mid-sized businesses that allow their clients to focus on their core competencies to maintain and grow their business. The typical PEO client is a small business with the average size of around 20 employees. Many small businesses choose to use PEO services to handle their employment-related issues and to attract and retain quality employees. PEOs administer employee benefits, workers' compensation, prepare payroll, remit employment taxes, and assist with local, state, and federal compliance. Because of these services, small businesses that use PEOs grow faster, have lower employee turnover, and are less likely to go out of business than those businesses that do not use a PEO. House Bill 506 would create uniform PEO standards, clarity on some key legal definitions, and a firm foundation for the PEO industry to continue its growth in the Commonwealth. These standards resolve the most common legal issues that can arise in a PEO relationship. One example is tax credits when a PEO becomes the employer of record and allowing that tax credit to pass down to the client. Adoption of these standards would create a level, competitive playing field within the industry. Statutory recognition of PEO responsibilities will enhance the services that PEOs are able to provide clients and covered employees, and will also create transparency that will protect small businesses from ill-conceived PEO operations. As such, this legislation establishes worthwhile consumer protections that support small businesses and the working people of the Commonwealth. Over the past year, we've worked with several stakeholders outside of the PEO industry to develop this legislation. For example, the Independent Insurance Agents of Kentucky, KJA, the Kentucky Association of Health Underwriters, and KEME, to name a few. And we feel like we've crafted a bill that addresses everyone's needs and concerns. For these reasons, we respectfully request that you support House Bill 506. I'd like to especially thank Chairman Pratt for sponsoring this important legislation, and a special thanks to Representative McCoy for his guidance on this bill. And thank you all for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Vance. One quick question. Did you say 48 states or 40 states?
I said 40, yeah.
40.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Melissa Kelly, and I'm here on behalf of ADP Total Source. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and speak with you today in support of House Bill 506. ADP Total Source is the nation's largest professional employer organization, or PEO. We partner with small businesses, providing them with comprehensive HR services and top-of-the-line benefits. In Kentucky, our footprint includes 3 offices, 2 in Louisville, 1 in Lexington, 316 small business clients, and approximately 7,000 worksite employees. My colleague from Concurrent HR has already discussed what a PEO is, so I will limit my remarks to echoing support for the regulatory framework that HB 506 would create. The PEO co-employment relationship is unique because it involves a sharing of employer rights and responsibilities between both the PEO and the client. As mentioned, 41 states have enacted similar legislation. In those jurisdictions, the statutory clarity and transparency that the framework provides has proven beneficial to the PEO industry, to our small business clients, and to worksite employees. Passage of House Bill 506 in the Commonwealth would provide those same benefits. For these reasons, we respectfully request you support the bill. Thanks, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
We do have a motion and a second, Senator Wheeler, and a second, I think it was Senator Mills. We do have some questions. I'm going to start with Senator Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And my question is directed to Representative Pratt. Representative Pratt, let me apologize. I'm not familiar with your bill. I have not had a chance to review it yet. I've been reviewing it this morning. Are we talking about regulating here what's commonly referred to as temp companies, where a person, entity needs temporary employees, and so they come to an agency, say, can you get me temporary workers to operate my company until I find someone permanent? Is that what we're talking about here?
I don't think it's actually temporary services. It's actually companies that could be doing your hiring, but not so temporary. They look at actually, they could do as much or as little as you want. They could just do your hiring. They could actually train. So it could be encompassing. But no, it's not temporary agencies. But again, as far as what all they do, could be a little bit farther.
I'll ask Mr. Vance just to clarify. I know he has a company in order, as stated.
Like a benefits administrator?
Yeah, so the temp agency is a different legal definition from what we're talking about here. A PEO would typically work with all of the clients or all of the employees at an organization, or a majority of them, as opposed to finding and placing employees, moving them to another organization. And we're really there to help maintain compliance and provide payroll services, HR services, a full gamut of services.
Okay. Senator Wheeler indicated that. So this is more like a benefits administrator operation, where you're overseeing payroll processing, benefits processing, those kind of services to small and medium businesses. Is that right, Representative Pratt?
It could be.
My question is directed to you.
Yes, sir, it could be. It depends on what, again, it's how much you want. They offer different services package, so you get to pick and choose, I believe, which one you want.
Okay.
Senator Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And my question is, I know we have 2 here at ADP and also the Employment Service, Northern Kentucky. My question is, you guys are already operating within our state, and very successfully, it appears. So my question is, what problems are you experiencing that require this legislation?
So I think that what I would say relative to why it's necessary is that the relationship is unique. And one of the things that Charlie mentioned was tax credits in his testimony. And because we become the employer of record and payroll is processed under the PEO's FEIN number, we've experienced issues in a host of other states where unintentionally Department of Tax stations, like for instance in Ohio back in 2016, there was a small business tax credit that was put into place, and a number of PEO clients claimed that credit, rightfully so, and then a few years later they were audited and told they had money due, and we had to go back and have a host of meetings and ultimately pass legislation that clarified that just because you choose to partner with a PEO because you want help with regulatory compliance, your payroll, benefits administration, et cetera, you shouldn't be penalized and lose eligibility for tax credits, whether it's for business size or any other sort of tax credit that a particular state may choose to offer. So that's one of many things that is clarified in the regulatory framework that HB 506 presents. It essentially makes it very clear which party, the PEO or the small business client company, is responsible for what. So it provides protections for all parties and the employees as well.
Just one follow-up, Mr. Chairman. So our Small Business Association, all of those are supportive of this bill as well?
There's no opposition to this bill as it's written right now, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Southworth.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I've been trying to listen for key issues, and the only topic I've heard is tax credits and wondering who's responsible. And to me, this is a matter of contracts. And to me, a business would contract out their HR stuff, and contract law is pretty clear on who's responsible for things. So am I missing something? Why could not this be just a general contract? Why do we need a whole plethora of state regs around it?
Sure, I can take that. So if you read the bill, we're talking about a co-employment model where the PEO takes on some responsibilities for being the employer, and that allows us to take as much off of the client's plate as we possibly can from a legal perspective. So we become responsible for remitting payroll and taxes because we're a co-employer.
So it's just a different model. Instead of
That's
contracting,
right.
you're
That's
becoming
right.
the employer.
There is a contract.
So you're
It's-
an umbrella for small businesses to hook into.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. At this point, we do have a motion. We do have a second. Seeing no further questions, Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Gardler, Senator Carr, Senator McDaniel,
Cast my vote and explain, Mr. Chairman.
Please do.
Cast an aye vote, and I just wanted to say welcome to Charlie Vance, who's been in this industry for quite a while
Yeah.
and done a great job up in Northern Kentucky in this space, and glad to see you here and presenting today and working on this issue. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Senator.
Senator McDaniel.
Senator Mills, Senator Southworth,
Explain my vote, Mr. Chairman.
Please do.
Mr. Chairman, bills of this magnitude, I feel like, are a little hard to blow through in a quick committee. And I think I'm going to vote no right now because, to me, the essence of small business is the entrepreneurial spirit and not having regulations. We go out, this was me, you go out and find a way to make money. These companies have obviously gone out and found a way to make money. I don't think we need to put government regulations around it to either protect what they're doing and keep other people out of the market, or to change what they're doing that's already working. I just don't see the need for this kind of law to be added to the books.
Senator Storm, Senator Thomas,
Mr. Chair, I rarely engage in pass votes. That just runs counter to my personality. But in this instance, I am going to pass. I don't have enough to say no to this bill, but I've been listening to the questions, and there's not enough for me to say yes either. I mean, it's not readily apparent why these professional employee organizations need regulation. I mean, I just don't. The answers just didn't satisfy me, and so for those reasons, I'm going to pass at the time. Maybe later on, if this bill comes to the floor, I can receive more guidance. But I can't say yes, but I can't say no either. So I'm going to pass.
Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
Senator Wilson, Senator Yates,
Explain my yes vote.
Please do.
First of all, I apologize for my tardiness. I had gone through and read the bill and proposal, but I'm going to vote yes for committee today, but I'll reserve the floor. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Yates.
Chairman Schroeder.
I vote yes as well. I know this is an issue that's been around for a while. I believe you maybe already got it over to the Senate in the past sessions, and I think you've done a good job working with the different, all the different parties involved in this area and brought everyone together. And I think in some ways we are being proactive, but you all are the experts in this area, and you're telling us you're welcoming these regulations and this framework and that it's needed. So I think this is a good move for us to make today. And your bill does pass with a vote of, what do we have here? 6 to 1 to 1. So congratulations, Representative Pratt.
Thank you, sir. And again, these are very complex issues. I'll agree with that. But again, payroll is also a very complicated issue these days. As someone who's on small business, along with Chairman McDaniels over there, you realize you want to keep the bad actors out. You want to make sure you have good companies that are actually providing the service, and all they're asking is make sure they keep the bad actors out. So that's why I call for it. Thank you, guys. Look forward to seeing it pass on the Senate floor.
Thank you. Next, let's hear House Bill 252. Welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, and good morning, committee, and happy St. Patrick's Day week to everybody. Obviously, that's a big holiday in my household, and, of course, we've turned it in, we went from a day to a week in ours. So soon it'll be a month. Just if I'm around long enough, you all get to hear that. My name is Killian Timoney. I'm a state representative, 45th District in Lexington, and I'm going to let my two counterparts introduce themselves.
My name is Shannon Stiglitz. I'm with the Kentucky Retail Federation here on behalf of retailers and restaurants.
My name is David Stubblefield. I'm Vice President, General Manager of Kentucky Eagle in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm here representing the Malt Beverage Association and distributors across the state.
Thank you all for being here.
As we go into this, I can't stress how important this bill is as a workforce development bill. It's a relatively simple bill in its context, but its impact it's much greater than the simplicity of it. During the pandemic, we're facing labor shortages across the board, and I think that all industries really had to reconfigure how they went about their business, and we're still seeing now, even today, with tremendous shortages in the restaurant industry. And my family, anecdotally speaking, we are, I guess you'd say, one of those new families where we eat out probably more than we should, and we still go into restaurants where the seating capacity is still 50%, and it's not for the 6-foot rule. It's because of the employees. They just don't have the workers to keep it open. They have a wait. People are waiting an hour.
Okay, we have a motion. Senator Wheeler, I believe Senator McDaniel with the second. Any questions? Seeing none. Senator Yates, you have a question?
More of a compliment. I filed the exact same bill in the Senate, and I just want to tell you that I greatly appreciate you being here. This is the outcry I've heard from my industry as well, so thank you.
Thank you.
Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Gardler, Senator Carr, Senator McDaniel, Senator Mills.
Please do.
For a guy that's born on St. Patrick's Day, I have to vote for Killian.
I'll take it.
Senator Southworth.
Let's make my pass vote.
Please do.
Mr. Chairman, pass is going to be the best I can get on this because I'm a yes on part of it and a no on others. And so our sponsor asked me to vote pass, and I can do that. I would like to see this part about warehousing and factories and so forth separated from the actual service in hand, because I feel like there's a difference there when we're talking about young, nearly children, versus a boxing type situation with our older people. So I think that needs to be distinguished here, and it's not. I understand it's a little complicated all in the same law, but I think it could be done, and I would support it if it was just that. Thank you.
Senator Storm, Senator Thomas.
Aye.
Senator Wheeler.
Aye.
Senator Wilson.
Explain my aye vote.
Please do.
I'm going to vote aye because this affects my family. My son has a restaurant, a couple of them. My family had restaurants. And so this is something that I see happening every day. But also, I have a real great relationship with my distributors in my area. And they are struggling to get folks to work for them, and they distribute beer and different things like that. So I can see the need for them to be able to have workers and all of that too as well. So I definitely vote aye. Thank you.
Senator Yates. Aye. Chairman Schroeder.
I vote aye as well. And House Bill 252 does pass. What was it, 7 to 0 to 1. Congratulations.
Thank you, committee. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, I think Senator Carroll, are you behind the? Oh, sorry, couldn't see you from this angle. Members, we have Senate Concurrent Resolution 171. Senator Danny Carroll, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. It's an honor to be here today to submit Senate Concurrent Resolution 71. I'm Danny Carroll, the state senator from the 2nd District.
I'm Jeff Harmon. I'm on the Senate leadership staff.
Mr. Chairman, members, the resolution is pretty cut and dried. Over the past several months, we have been in contact with the Idaho National Lab dealing with nuclear energy and looking for a funding source to be able to do a feasibility study for nuclear energy in the Commonwealth. You all know a few years back we lifted the nuclear moratorium in Kentucky. However, since that time, there really hasn't been a lot of discussion on nuclear energy due to the lower cost of natural gas primarily and electricity in general. But during that time, I've been keeping tabs on this. Myself and Representative Rudy are part of an NCSL National Legislator Working Group dealing with nuclear energy. And there's been a lot of advancement in technology in nuclear energy with next generation reactors. Right now, TVA is working towards small modular reactors, one in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and I think they plan to build other small modular reactors. In Wyoming, TerraPower, which is owned by Bill Gates, is preparing to build a sodium reactor, and that's one of the next generation reactors that is much safer. It uses basically salt as a coolant rather than having flowing water, and it's much safer. And there are many different technologies that are being worked on throughout the world, and as energy prices continue to increase, we are going to be looking for various sources, and nuclear is carbon-free as we move towards green. We had a long discussion yesterday on solar power. Solar power is not the answer. Is it a supplement? Yes, but we need base load energy, and nuclear is the most efficient type of base load energy in that it is at full capacity over 90% of the time when those plants are operating. So our plan now is we do have some possibilities for funding that are coming, and then we'll be looking for an entity to be able to administer that funding and to ensure that the study is done. The LRC will assign this task to a committee during the interim, and then we will work to put all these pieces together to make sure that this happens. And it's a first step. Kentucky cannot fall behind in this area. We have always been able to provide low-cost energy due to coal, and unfortunately, as we move away from coal, we're going to fall behind if we don't look towards the future. We'll be bringing folks in to educate the legislature during the interim on the next gen reactors and hopefully get some folks more comfortable with nuclear energy. And
we have a motion, Senator McDaniel. I'll second the motion. Seeing no questions, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Senator Gardler, Senator Carr, Senator McDaniel, aye. Senator Mills, aye. Senator Southworth,
Aye.
Senator Storm, Senator Thomas, aye. Senator Wheeler,
Aye.
Senator Wilson, aye. Senator Yates.
Please do.
First of all, Senator, thank you for bringing this. A lot of times when we hear these words, we think of the Simpsons and the nuclear reactors and all those things. We dealt with some of this stuff even at the local level and restrictions, but most of that's based on ignorance or misunderstanding of what it does. And so as we move forward with this, I hope that we also do with an educational standpoint. But as we move to more electrical vehicles and we have to expand the grid here locally, logistically, these are things that we have to be considering. So I appreciate your leadership. Yes.
Chairman Schroeder.
I vote aye as well. I want to thank Senator Carroll for just staying on this. I know this has been a passion of you and your predecessor You moved us ahead back. I think you said, was it 2015 or 16? And but just staying on it. I think you're right. With low energy costs, natural gas, we have a tendency to be complacent instead of looking forward and trying to prevent things before the problems are here. And as we had the discussion yesterday, I think energy really is becomes an important issue for our security of our nation, and energy independence, and just for our consumers and constituents, keeping those costs down. So certainly thank you for bringing this. And we do have a question from Senator Wheeler about consent. Senator, what do you think? You'd rather talk about it? Okay, we'll keep it off the consent calendar then. But Senate Concurrent Resolution 171 does pass with favorable expression, and thank you for your
Thank you, Mr.
presentation.
Chairman. I'd like to thank Jeff for his work on this. He has
Absolutely.
been communicating with the lab and getting all this together, so appreciate you.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Last but not least, we have Senate Bill 207, Senator Jimmy Higdon. I think he might have ran down. I texted him that he had 1 minute to be here, or I was going to adjourn the meeting, and he's here. It was it's impressive.
He's in the Chick-fil-A.
I didn't read that. I didn't know I was on a time schedule.
Okay.
I might not have made it.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Senate Bill 207 is a bill that I've worked on for some time, and it deals with Workforce Investment Board, or the KWEB. Most of you, a lot of you are familiar with KWEB. I've been on that board for, I guess, I've been appointed by 3 different governors to serve on the KWEB. So I've seen it up close and personal, and the KWEB, if you see it, watch it on TV or attended the meetings, it's a well-oiled machine, and really talk about some great things. But on the other hand, if you go out into the state, into the communities, and ask somebody about KWEB or some of the things that they do, it's somewhat of a well-kept secret. And we need to do a better job of getting the word out to our especially our ad districts about the workforce investment and the things that are available. Also under the KWEB is a group called the Collaborative, and that collaborative is made up of 19 members. The majority of them are members of the governor's cabinet, and the collaborative is responsible. About close to $1 billion flows through there from the federal government for workforce initiatives, and I'm not throwing rocks at the collaborative. It's like a lot of things we do in state government. They're overburdened, and this is just something that's required. And basically, what my bill does, it brings some instead of the group that's currently on the board, a lot of them would remain on there. If you look at the bill, it goes through the makeup of the board. But basically, the biggest difference it makes, it takes the 10 ad districts that we have, and each ad district would have a representative on the collaborative. And that's kind of my way, I guess, of trying to make sure that the information and the work of KWEB and the collaborative is disseminated out across the state. And there is a disconnect. Like I said, you can go home and ask one of your economic development directors about KWEB, Kentucky Workforce Investment Board, and they'll probably look at you like you have 3 eyes. It's just, again, we could do a better job. And one of the biggest, I think, responsibilities of KWEB is workforce participation, and we all know we have a very low workforce participation in the state of Kentucky. I have no grand idea or hopes that this bill will make it all the way through the system this time. I just like to call attention to it. I'd love to see us have a a work committee this summer to talk about K-Web and again, not pointing fingers and blaming the current administration for this. It's been like this ever since I've been on the K-Web board. It's kind of a rubber stamp, and we need to do more with it, and that's.
We have a motion, Senator Mills. We have a second, Senator Wheeler. Madam Secretary, seeing no questions at this time, please call the roll.
Senator Gardler, Senator Carr, Senator McDaniel, Senator Mills, Senator Southworth,
Aye.
Senator Storm, Senator Thomas.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
I would like to explain my yes vote.
Please do.
And then make a suggestion to my good friend Jimmy Higdon, Senator Higdon. I like this bill. I've had a lot of contact with the Kentucky Workforce Investment Board myself. They do some great things. Senator Higdon, we have in this body, we haven't talked about it this session, but we have a racial and equity task force that we passed last year. Senator Givens led that charge. And I think that this is the perfect kind of bill. I've never raised this whole session. I think the perfect kind of bill where when we talk about the composition of the board, we ought to add something that this board should achieve, ethnic and geographic diversity in its composition, maybe a new paragraph 3 before, and then change the numbers. But I would ask you to think about that kind of modification to the bill, because I think we want to make sure that everybody has a seat at the table, all different ethnic groups and geographic groups, as we move forward to highlight and enhance the Kentucky Workforce Investment Board. So I ask you to give some thought to that.
Thank you.
Senator Wheeler. Aye. Senator Wilson. Aye. Senator Yates. Aye. Chairman Schroeder.
Vote aye as well. Thank you, Senator Higdon, for bringing this. And I think part of our theme this session is making sure the resources that we have currently are being used effectively. And so I appreciate your work on this. And Senate Bill 207 does pass with favorable expression. Would you like it on the consent calendar?
Please.
We have a motion, Senator Mills, consent. Senator Wheeler with a second. All those in favor of adding Senate Bill 207 to the consent calendar, please signal by saying aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, it will be on consent. Congratulations, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Members having no other business at this time, we are adjourned.